Am I the butthole for telling people the truth when they ask how I stay so skinny? A bit of background. I, 20 female, have a medical issue that has caused me to have zero appetite since I was 2 or 3. I find it hard to eat due to my lack of hunger. So when I do eat, it is almost always high-calorie or junk food. I also graze all day because it's hard for me to eat full meals. I have to force myself to eat even when I really don't want to. I manage all right, but I am still underweight. Not dangerously low, but very skinny. I do not want to be this thin. I just find it incredibly hard to gain weight. I want to be a normal BMI. I also have low blood pressure, so I need to eat a lot of salt. On to the point. I'm in the US where most people have the opposite problem. People see me snacking on junk food all day and never gaining any weight. I constantly get comments about how lucky I am. And people always ask me, what's your secret? How do you only eat junk and stay so thin? I always answer the absolute truth: I just don't eat that much. People always seem so offended by my answer. Like I just don't want to let them in on my secret to staying thin. In reality, while I mostly eat only junk, there's rarely a day where I eat more than 2,000 calories. It's usually much less than that, not that I count. Today my coworker asked me the dreaded question: how do you eat only junk and stay so thin? As always, I told her I just don't eat much. And as always she assumed I was lying. But you snack all day long at your desk. I see you eating cookies and chips and lots of carbs every day. I told her once again, yes, I eat mainly junk, I just don't eat that much. She was still not convinced with my answer and told I was a butthole for keeping my secret from people who want to be thin. Annoyed at this point, I snapped and said, just eat less. That's all you have to do. This made her angry. So I just put my headphones in, and she finally left. Am I the butthole? Edit. From now on. Thanks user Thrills. When people ask how I stay thin, I'll tell them despite all the junk food, I eat less than 2,000 calories a day. I think that will fulfill people's questions. I want to avoid telling random people about my private health problems. Thank you all for your responses. Reddit link. Not the butthole even if your response was a bit insensitive but you were only answering in kind. This is what I find annoying. Everyone is different and how people choose to eat is no one else's business unless there's a medical concern. I'm not sure why your coworker was being so nosy and rude, but ask stupid questions, get stupid answers. Good for you for standing your ground. Edit. Because I just noticed all the messages regarding her response not being insensitive. In this situation, I agree that Op's response was in kind to the insensitive nature that the other person was badgering her. However, in a normal setting, telling an obese person to just eat less is like telling an alcoholic to stop drinking. There's other factors that go into the problem that can't just be solved by abstaining, but I'm just going to state that I'm in no way condoning that person for what they said to original poster because it was inappropriate to be badgering her for answers that didn't need to be disclosed. Because she wanted the magic secret to staying thin despite eating junk food. And like I said, she just doesn't eat a lot of it. My cousin is like this, not the same issues, he's a normal weight, where he'd eat big meals and we always thought he had a higher metabolism. But one day after I had started focusing on losing weight, I noticed that he'd have a big meal and almost never snack. He could get a large Baconator meal from Wendy's at noon but then would be full until like 7 to 9, and it really put it into perspective for me. I am borderline underweight due to medications I take for my chronic health problems, and I have the same issue as original poster. I can't really gain weight. The only way I've managed to prevent myself from losing it is to almost exclusively eat junk, ice cream, donuts, Little Debbie snacks, etc. I take a multivitamin every day in an attempt to be somewhat healthy. Occasionally I eat oranges. I never work out or anything. Original poster replies. I totally feel you. I never work out as well. Little Debbies are a godsend. And donuts, I eat them all the time. Something I started a few months ago that has helped. Every night I fill up one of those little Jell-O shot cups, condiment cups, with Nutella and dipstick pretzels in it. It's like 400 to 500 calories, which is a lot for how little I have to eat. I hope your health get better. If this was me, I'd eat so much peanut butter. So high in calories for the amount, and at least it's a healthy way for you to get some calories in X. Original poster replies. I actually do like peanut butter and eat it sometimes, but it's just too dang sticky for me to eat more than a tablespoon. Laughing out loud, this might sound incredibly weird, but peanut butter and pancake syrup mixed together is a great combo. I've been eating it my whole life. Plus, it makes it less sticky/easier to eat. Heating peanut up also makes it easier to eat. In the microwave for 15-second intervals until it's all the way warm. Then can add a little chocolate sauce or whipped cream, or both. I also used to have an issue maintaining my weight, so I learned some tricks. You can also freeze it with your ice cream, not sticky and super yummy. Warm peanut butter on fresh apple fritters. Nams. They used to serve pancakes with PB and syrup at my elementary school, so good. A bit of advice for people asking about your secret. Just tell them you're doing the macro diet. That diet, you eat what you want as long as it's within your calorie limit and nutrition goals, and they can research it on their own. But tell them to talk to their doctor first. At least you keep your privacy and they have a rabbit to hunt. Good luck. Not the butthole. Are you related to my husband? That's his favorite way of eating pancakes, and I had never seen or heard of that before until he ate pancakes in front of me. Have you ever heard of these drinkable meals? I suffered from an eating disorder for years. I am not saying you have an eating disorder, your medical condition is different, and I ate a lot like you do during that time. Then I discovered these products, and having something that I could drink in 15 seconds that had the calorie and nutritional content of a balanced meal is what finally helped me regulate my eating. I even gained some weight. Maybe they would be good for you to try. I got those for my mom when she was very sick from chemo. It was so much easier for her to drink one than trying to eat a meal. Peanut butter and honey are also a great combo. Peanut butter and banana, chocolate chips optional, are also a cracking combination. This was my exam day breakfast when I was doing undergrad because it would definitely keep me going for the 4+ hours before I could contemplate eating again. But have you tried peanut butter and Nutella? Awesome. We call that a Snickers sandwich. Dip apple slices into it. I've had a similar issue in the past, and I would have high-protein milk smoothies. Put milk powder and sustagen in with the milk, add some frozen fruit, and a raw egg, then blend. If you normally struggle with fruit, putting them through the blender helps, because they're easier to absorb when they're mashed up. The milk powder mixed into milk is what they give the starving children in famine areas, apparently. A nurse told me that in hospital, and I said to give the starving children my milk as well, because I hated it when it's just plain thick milk. It's better as a fruit smoothie. Each individual ingredient is optional, but you get the idea how you could play around with it and get a nutritious smoothie that meets your taste and works as a meal replacement if necessary. Edit: regarding your original post, not the butthole for snapping at that woman. It's none of her business. In your situation, my first answer is you don't want my diet plan, and if they push it, I say, incurable disease, and that shuts people up. I'm not skinny, but when I lost a lot of weight quickly, I got the same questions. Without planning to, I blurted out the truth: my sister died, I'm depressed, and my stomach hurts all the time. There were no more questions after that. Yeah, me too. I was institutionalized, ended the conversation, but I didn't really want to tell anyone, either. I'm so sorry for your loss, and that you had to deal with people being so invasive at the same time. Are you not worried about diabetes or scurvy? Or muscle atrophy/wasting from insufficient protein? You're young now, but in a few years, this high-sugar, low-nutrient diet is really going to smack you in the face. We don't have every detail about original poster's diet. Clearly, they're pretty tired of defending it, so maybe ease off the 20 questions. I got that Op's story isn't about defending their diet so much as fed up with people prying into why they're so thin, and there being an underlying medical reason to it. Most likely she's thin because that's how her body functions. Could be high metabolic rate, genetics, or at least a dozen other things. I was the same way. In high school, I was 5 feet 8 inches and weighed about 105, long, tall stack of bones. I only gained 10 hash with my first baby, 12 hash with my second. They were both normal size and weight. However, when I turned 30, that was the end of it. By 32, I weighed 125. By 35 minus 130. After 40, The scale just kept going up and up and up, until at 58 I weighed 175 hash. Now at 72, I weigh 135 again. Our bodies do what they want to do sometimes, and we don't need to do anything but live a healthy life. I'm assuming original poster has seen a doctor throughout her life and has no serious medical issues, and if she hasn't ever seen a doctor about her weight, she should get checked out. Not the butthole. Ask the next person how they managed to stay fat. Up until pregnancy, I was 90 pounds soaking wet. I had a coworker yell at me to eat during break, and I asked her why, when she's fat enough for both of us. Didn't go over that well. I've never been more proud. She left me alone after that. I only ever gained baby weight in pregnancy, not bragging, it's just what happened, and I got so many comments like you must not be eating enough. The babies will be too small, your doctor must be concerned. Spoiler alert, he was not. Then I turned around and had an 8 lb 13 Oz baby and a set of twins at 37 weeks that were 6 lbs 2 Oz and 7 lbs 13 Oz. And both times, I weighed less after delivery than I did in the beginning. My first, all I wanted was white pizza with broccoli and hot sauce, and with the twins, the only thing I could eat without getting nauseous was a fried egg on avocado toast with hot sauce. It really bothers some folks that we're not all the same. People also really love to root against naturally skinny people. I can't tell you how many relatives kept telling me wait until you're older and you have kids about my weight, 100 pounds 5'3". Well, I'm now mid-30s and had a twin pregnancy. I'm 105. Jokes on them. I also am incredibly active, twin 3-year-olds ha, and a small farm doesn't allow a lot of downtime, and I stop eating when I'm full. People definitely love to root against naturally skinny people, and it's seen as somehow acceptable to comment on our bodies like public property. I've heard comments my entire goddamn life. Like, I'm just living over here with my naturally high metabolism, I also have a thyroid issue. Leave me alone, y'all. I'm always told that I'm too skinny, about 140 pounds 6 feet 0 inches, and I need to eat more. The thing is, I'm just extremely active, but not at the gym type of active. This leads to me having a large appetite without gaining the weight, and I'm always told I need to eat more or go to the gym. I just struggle gaining healthy weight, and it seems many people don't realize skinny people have struggles too, not just people who are overweight. Cravings are weird. With my first, all I wanted was fluffernutter sandwiches, and I felt like I was starving all the time. I gained a ton of weight. With my second, I wanted spicy Indian vegetables and chickpeas and didn't feel like I was going to die if I didn't eat. I lost weight. Eat quickly. It's easier to overeat when you inhale your food instead of tasting it. Don't exercise. Exercise is your enemy. Just lie in bed all day watching TV, reading a book, or staring at your phone. Eat all the time. If you don't have some kind of food within reach, then what will you do when you're bored? Treat yourself to ice cream every night before bed. Not that you should ever be getting out of bed, but when you do, bring some ice cream back with you. Drink lots of beer. Beer is high in calories and also helps you take more and longer naps. That's all I can think of for now. I might think of some more latte after my early morning nap and second breakfast. Don't worry, I have my phone here in bed with me. Add sugar, mayo, or butter to everything. Coffee? Add butter. Crackers? Add butter. Cereal? Make sure it's equal parts cereal, milk, and sugar. Fried potatoes? Lather on the mayo. At least that's how I wound up morbidly obese. A little bit of butter on saltines is hella good. Is adding butter to coffee actually a thing though? It's a keto thing. Yep, I never did that one, but I work at a coffee shop and folks do it because they think it's healthy. Okay, butter and coffee sounds like a lot of things, but healthy definitely isn't one of them. It's true. The faster you eat, the more you can trick your body. I go eating. That'll shut everyone up really quick. LOL. Original poster, not the butthole. Take my upvote. I'm fat and this hurt me feelings, you deserve it. While I don't recommend this unless you're asking me, I like the idea. Not the butthole at all. She shouldn't even be asking that stuff anyways at work. This Not a good workplace topic and definitely crossed into inappropriate when she was obviously making original poster uncomfortable. I put a lot of value in professionalism. These things absolutely astound me. Not the butthole also, you aren't wrong. The only way to lose weight is really to eat less. That's why people end up getting a gastric bypass or other stomach surgery to limit the amount of food they eat. If someone is bugging you about your diet or personal life, you're entitled at some point to tell them to bugger off. I had a sleeve gastrectomy and you are right, it is the limiting that works for weight loss. What helped me so much was feeling full after eating something the size of an egg as opposed to a large-size McDonald's meal. When I felt full I could stop eating and feel satisfied. I only had protein shakes, cottage cheese for the first couple months then, almost every day would have a Halloween-sized bag of chips and 2 fingers of a Kit Kat bar, and my coworkers would comment how I was always snacking and still losing. Some days that was all I ate though and went from 280 to 126. I had the bypass in 2002. So I get the small meals and shakes for weeks and sometimes months after surgery. Even now, all these years later, people ask how I lost the majority of it and why I carry food all the time. Even when working and on post, when not supposed to, bosses know and allow, plus I have low BP and must carry meter and meds at all times. I wish people would take a simple vague answer instead of demanding to know details of a private issue. Op is not the butthole. Not necessarily to eat less, but less than you burn. If you start to exercise accordingly to your intake, you can lose weight and still eat the same. But it of course goes much quicker if you eat less and more healthy food. True, but you can't out-exercise a bad diet. That's why they say weight loss is roughly 80%, what and how much you eat. You would need to basically exercise all day. When I started exercising, I was amazed at how much effort it takes to burn a few calories. Exercise burns a lot less calories than most people do think. If you exercise for 1 hour, that's usually only roughly equivalent to a meat-sized snack. The real weight loss benefit of exercise isn't the calories you burn while doing it, it's the added muscle mass that requires more calories to sustain even while doing nothing. By lifting weights you can gradually increase how many calories you burn at rest over time, which will lead to a higher calorie need, plus, weight loss, or the opportunity to eat more without gaining weight. Also, sorry if this isn't directly the point of your comment, I just absolutely hate how women are told to eat 1,500 calories a day and do cardio daily when long-term that just sets them up to have to continue restricting themselves when instead we could be lifting weights and eating more for better results. Yeah, it's a lot more complicated than my 2-sentence comment could portray. Exercise can also improve your metabolism, but it can also cause you to become hungrier and encourage you to increase your caloric intake. Different types of exercise also burn different amounts of calories, and different snacks contain different amount of calories. All calories are also not equal and different foods have different effects on weight. Basically, I was mostly trying to make the point that decreasing calories is the best way to lose weight while trying to not get into the more complicated parts about weight loss. As a former obese, now normal weight guy, the secret is really just eating less, whether that's volume or calorie-wise or likely a combination of both. Simple but not easy, and some people just don't want to accept that there isn't an easy solution. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.